Mastering passive voice, negative statements and questions. Hello everyone, and welcome back to our English language learning journey. Today, we are going to master a crucial topic in English grammar, which is the passive voice. Specifically, we will be focusing on forming passive voice negative statements and questions. Let's dive in. Before we venture into the specifics, let's take a quick moment to refresh our understanding of the passive voice. In the passive voice, the focus is on the action and not who performed it. The sentence structure typically goes like this. The object of the active sentence becomes the subject of the passive sentence. For example, in the active voice, we say, John painted the house. In the passive voice, this becomes, the house was painted by John. Moving on to negative statements in the passive voice. Here, we use the structure subject plus auxiliary verb, be, plus not plus past participle plus, by someone, something. Let's look at an example. The house was not painted by John. This sentence implies that John didn't paint the house. Remember, the negative part in the sentence is the addition of not after the auxiliary verb be. Now, let's talk about forming questions in the passive voice. We use the structure auxiliary verb be plus subject plus past participle plus by someone, something. Here's an example. Was the house painted by John? This question asks whether John painted the house or not. Here are some important points to remember when forming passive voice negative statements and questions. The structure for negative sentences in the passive voice is subject plus auxiliary verb, be, plus not plus past participle plus, by someone, something. The structure for questions in the passive voice is auxiliary verb, be, plus subject plus past participle plus, by someone, something. Always remember to use the auxiliary verb, be, in the correct tense according to the context of your sentence. That's it for today's lesson on forming passive voice negative statements and questions. Always remember the structures and use them as a blueprint while forming your own sentences. Keep practicing, and soon, you'll master the use of passive voice in negatives and questions. Stay tuned for more in-depth lessons on English grammar. Happy learning!